Hey guys, it's me, Riku, and today I'm gonna tell a story about the worst neighborhood in Gloversville I've ever lived in, Du Bois. And I will be honest with you, living there is not worth your time, and it will probably destroy your entire summer. It did for me anyway. How can you lose friends in like one summer? It doesn't make any sense, like seriously. I don't even get to speak to Patrick. I can't say their names. I can only get to speak to my friend anymore. So like and subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't get to miss any of my videos. I've not said that in a while. So basically at the beginning it was like this. Me and my mom moves into a house because my mom's, ex was, very fightful. But they're good now. But later I found out they had a playground there, and turns out it was the same exact playground that I played on when I was a kid. And I was like 13 back then in Du Bois. I have a habit of climbing on top of the playground because I was always get bullied when we were playing tag, and then everyone's always like, "Oh, you can't get us, you can't get us, oh well, the slowest person in the world, oh." But then here's me on top of the playground in every game of tag now, and then when I see them, I'm always like, "What you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? Oh, who's the slowest one now? Oh, you can't get me now. Oh yeah, hehe, safe up here." Okay, I was saying, I would always take a walk outside, like usually like 3 a.m. or 2 a.m., like way in the morning, or maybe 12 o'clock p.m., like right before 1 o'clock p.m. Everyone was still asleep. Everyone's kind of sleepy, and there's a lot of families in Du Bois anyway. For the second time, I'm just basically just walking, and I ran into some kids. They turned out to be sisters, and they never seen me before, so they asked, like, "Who are you?" So I was like, "Hey, my name's," I can't say my real name. So I said, like, over them I said my real name, but actually I never did. I said my nickname. Raven. That was my nickname. That's what some of my friends call me. Then they asked if they wanted to be friends, but then I'm like, usually in Gloversville, teenagers are, not paid attention to, and I was like 13 back then. So I was like the youngest teenager, always the bystander, the introvert. So I wasn't really like a bad person. Apparently parents think teenagers are a bad person, think they're just gonna walk outside, see their children get molested, and really we don't do that. No one does that. That's just wrong. So I said yes. I said yes to them. At first, they turned out to be really nice to me, but then I met some other people, made other friends, and they said that, "Hey, this girl actually is not the best person ever." I found out they spread fake rumors, and they won't let me leave them alone. They won't leave me alone. So basically, I'm always walking around with them. They won't let me see my friends, who are also teenagers and are also there. I just wanted to, like, go up to them and say hi, but I couldn't. One, because I didn't want to make a little child cry, because it just feels wrong. Who would make children cry? Just don't make children cry. It's not worth it. Days pass, and something came up. People kept spreading fake rumors about me behind my back and my friend's back, and my friends always are like walking up to the person that kept talking at me like, "Hey, she's not really like that." And the first thing is, they usually say that, "Hey, you're lying," when really my friends, the friends there, they literally grew up with me throughout high school, middle school, and elementary school, so they're the only people there that know the most about me, so they can't say nothing to them. But this rumor this really ticked me off. This, like, really made me angry. My parents thought it was actually true and it wasn't. Someone made a lie that I had sex with one of my best friends. That doesn't make any sense, and where the hell? Actually, I found out who did it. It was actually a little girl. Well, wasn't really little, she was like 4th grade. I think she was like 4th grade. But she was kind of tall for a little girl, so like I knew she was like 4th grade. And that little girl, though, acts like she'd never been punished in her entire life. Like, even her mom wanted to beat me up. Like, honestly, I would honestly be weirded out. Like, sometimes when I walk past her house and be like, I'm just gonna mind my own business, we'll go for a walk. Go for, like, a walk, like a jog, and listen to music. And then she's always, like, right in front of our house, eyeing me like I killed her own mother. It's not worth it. So I made a video about it on YouTube about what that girl did. For some reason, they came up to my door, said, "Hey, you gotta put this down, put it down." And I put it down because he threatened to call the police on me, and really I was honestly just, well, they don't own my computer or anything. Although sure, I gave some of my toys away to them because I was like 13 back then and did not need toys anymore. At all. I was honestly growing out of it. Some kids that are very nice, some of them go to high school back then. Well, not high school, middle school. They had a little sister. They were very nice. They were the nicest two people I ever met. We had a lot in common. We both like Undertale. I also made a friend who actually, well, now he says we were dating in elementary school. That's what my little stepsister, Jessie told me. But really, why would I date someone who used me for my own feelings? Why do I date someone who would use me because I was a teenager? It makes no sense. I literally went over to my friend, like, one of my friends, he was, like, Patrick. I went up hugging him, I was scared, and, yeah, he just had to say something to that kid. I'm like, "Hey, Patrick, don't do it," but then he ended up choking someone. Oh god, that was a huge-ass incident. I am so glad I was at school when that happened. Or else I will probably be one of the hugest suspects in the entire world. Andrew was a suspect. Wait, what was his name? I think it was, like, forgot his name, but people said he never showers. Forgot that guy's name, but I don't think that's actually true because every single time walking past in the halls in high school, he smells like lavender. I don't blame him. Bright lavender is a really good color, and it smells, like, really good. Like, seriously, have you ever smelled, like, lavender flowers? They smell delicious. And, like, seriously, the perfume, it smells, like, really good. Like, I would live in a flower if I could. But then, people would get, well, turns out those girls have never been, well, punished. So they would always, I found out that, well, the older sister would always spread fake rumors like that a lot when, we were both playing Ding Dong Ditch. I do not recommend this whatsoever. So, like, one of them, made, like, a dirty joke in our window, so then we were running, I'm like, oh god, I don't want to get in trouble for this, because I was the oldest, and the girl would always be, the girl who, the person who did it to, she was like, "Are you doing this?" Just because I was the oldest one in the group. Why always the oldest doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, just because I was, like, 13, like, a full-on teenager, I went to 8th grade in middle school back then. Now I'm a freshman in high school. I'm actually 14 now. So it's basically, like, last year. But just because I was 13 and a teenager doesn't mean that was me. Like, I was running, and then, like, she grabbed a little girl by the hand. I thought it was wrong because she was a full-fledged adult, and I just wanted to say something, like, call the police. What kind of adult grabs a little girl's hand? And just, well, being like, she didn't bring them home and said, "Hey, where is, like, this older sister? She's about to say something," and then she got screamed at. And that's it, then she just kept going. And then that's how the rumors started happening. People kept saying that I was the person who grabbed the little girls by the hand, but really, I was not. First of all, she wasn't full Native American, and she did not have pale skin. Although usually both have tan skin, but then I started playing too much video games, which caused my skin to go really pale. Also, I wore, like, leather jackets back then. Only in there, for some reason it was snow there, it would make no sense. Did not help whatsoever. Like, if your skin's, like, really pale white, you get really, really cold. I should have grabbed my winter jacket or a sweater. Well, sure, I had like a gray sweater, like a purple t-shirt. I basically looked like a cosplay of Ashley Campbell, but regular clothes. It was like it was like a full-on teenager crew, and I'll go out to them and be like, "Hey, Sally Face," and then they always like, "Hey, Larry Face." It'd be strange. Also, there were some kids there who really knew how to fix bikes really well. It was surprising. Really cool too. Some of them would be scared and ask me like, "Hey, can you please come with me in this forest because I see something there and I think it might be a person. How do you know they're trying to kill me?" So I went over there. Turns out it was literally just a broken trampoline and no one was under there. And that's it. Like, that's it. Just a broken trampoline. Also, fun fact about Du Bois, it is actually haunted. It was built over Indians' battleground, and people would always say, "Hey, my grandpa was buried down here." When I was a kid, it was like half Spanish, half, well, yeah. And Gloversville was like New York State, North America. And I am full Native American, so it was obviously one of my ancestors in there, no one else's. Unless someone there is also full Native American. And yeah, I won't judge. Also, the forest was haunted. The worst part is there would be cultists going there at night. And I knew there were cultists there because behind the buildings there are spray paints of Jesus like on a cross. And it was kind of slightly tiny, a little bit offensive because I go to church. I do Christianity. So if someone said I molested a kid, it would not be true. It's not that one joke from South Park where priests are always the one molesting the kids. Although I do like that one joke where people say, "Oh my god, they killed Kenny! You bastards!" And then like with the scene where Kenny actually dies, Carmen's so mad at Kyle. And then Kyle said, "Oh my god, they killed Kenny!" But then Carmen's like quiet as hell. Like, "Oh my god, guys, you gotta do it. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." Although there were some high schoolers there who did a lot of alcohol. My friends did it. They ended up smoking, started coughing everything out. I heard a story. They always bring me along. Patrick brings me everywhere. I'm always following them. We always play like Nerf War. And he's like, "Hey, Pistol Sister, what's up?" And I'm literally just raised the gun in there while it's on my phone, like playing Sonic Dash or Sonic Forces. I had limited data back then. It was actually pretty good. They had a lot of Wi-Fi there. People think I moved out of Du Bois because I thought it was like a pussy, but really, it was actually because, well, downstairs people actually had a lot of bugs who went up going upstairs, so always wake up with something itchiness. Like, every single time it itched, it would go red, and then the red would spread. And then every single time I would drink, like, milk, it would go worse. Like, worser each night. Like, honestly, I didn't want to go outside because I would be out there like a raw salmon fish. Yeah, so my mom used to call me salmon skin because I was really red. But then she started getting a lot of bites and started going purple, so I started calling her Purple Guy for like Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff. But then in the end, I got grounded from a lot of the electronics, and yeah, I just miss so much Animal Crossing and Minecraft and Roblox. I miss Mario Kart, but I don't do Mario Kart anymore because angry cousins and past. And my mom overheard that the older sister's like mother said that she wanted to beat me up. My mom would force me to stay inside. So I'm always in there like making TikTok videos. Apparently everyone in Du Bois does it. Even the little girls, like I've seen a couple 5-year-olds. Like, that girl's family? Who the hell teaches a baby to do the Savage Dance? Although it was honestly like the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was also adorable. If I could have usually reached through the screen and switched the cheeks. But apparently, they hate me. I don't know why they hate me, but they do. It's strange. Also, they all really like going to my house because I was like spoiled as a kid. I had so much toys, but I wasn't really bad about it. I would just play with it, but it'd have like an aerial song background. Like, I do not remember what the song is. I end up saying the Smurfs. I don't know what the hell I started saying the Smurfs. Although, the Smurfs was actually my childhood. I would always, like, watch it with a little stuffed animal in my hands, like a little teddy bear. I'm like, hey, Mom! Like, I could sing them now! La, 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 la. And then I would sing that on the way home on the bus. But I was always picked on. Because I was, like, the most hyperest kid in the entire world. I do not recommend this. Do not do your first, well, yeah. I had this crush in first grade named, like, Henry. I am so sorry, Henry. I forced him to do, like, the waltz. Something that princesses do. Do not recommend this. It was, like, the most worst thing I've ever done. Oh, God. Like, I was being, like... It's like as if I was a Yano kid on steroids. Although I actually had to take steroids for medicine before. And I was always like, the worst thing I could ever possibly say in the 3rd grade, which made the teachers immediately call my parents in concern. I'm like, hey, I'm on steroids, don't mess with me. And then they are literally pulled me in the back, right in the principal's office, called my parents over, and they said, what about, does she know what steroids are? And then I was like, they said, I thought I was suspended, but really, turns out steroids weren't really good for kids. And, yeah, it was more like quarantine and help me get better. So it's basically just sick days. 30 days of sick days. Who knew you could break your leg in, like, the first day you get home? Anyways, in Du Bois, I always had this house, and the back of it, there was, like, an entire haunted, like, woods. The entire haunted woods. I hated it. The voices in my head, like that one mental disorder I had, oh God, that would go haywire. It went to the point where I had to go see a priest in church. They said, you're being haunted. My mom never believed me. She said, you're not being haunted. Ghosts aren't real. But really, I believe in ghosts. They're real. Trust me. I've seen Patrick get possessed before by this guy named, like, Zozo. Yeah. We had a huge problem. Turns out he wanted to hold me hostage. It was the biggest, worst ghost story in the entire world. We tried doing a Ouija board because I wanted to, and then I literally had a blackout, woke up, tied up in the fucking basement. Patrick dealt with the whole entire cultist game. This all happened. And I was supposed to get home by 8 o'clock, so I had a curfew. Like, 8 o'clock is when the Gloversville lights go down, because that's when it finally starts getting dark. And, yeah, they kept interrogating me. Like, hey, how do you see ghosts? Like, how do you see ghosts? And I'm like, what do you mean by you can see ghosts? Like, these guys were actually crazy. Like, it sounded like they needed to go see a mental hospital or help. Yeah, like, I just really hated it. Like, it was scary because I had a fear of being touched. Everyone thought I don't like being touched, when really, it's actually just a phobia, a whole entire phobia. Patrick and the others found me, and they, helped me, they saved me, and, well, yeah. They never called the police. And then the dumbass, he did the dumbest move someone could possibly do in the entire world. Who the hell would pick up an obsessed, like, possessed object and start inhaling it? It was like a little water bottle that someone threw at him, and like, Patrick, do not drink it. Everyone was like, don't do it, stop, it's not worth it. And Andrew was like, hey, don't do it, you have so much to live for. Wait till the next chapter to Fortnite, or the next creepypasta, which is actually Siren Head. And of course, he actually did it. He strangled me down and was pinned against the wall, him holding me by the neck. No, it wasn't sexual. At all. It was more terrifying. Andrew grabbed him from behind. He's like, "Stop it. This isn't like you." And then he snapped out of it. We thought, like, hey, we should probably call a priest. But then Patrick's like, "No, stop." Because then he said that, well, me, Raven, would probably get hurt. He was actually worried about me, which was kind of sweet of him. And to me, I don't really have a crush on him. I see him as, like, an older brother. Just like how my friend, like, Mike, his real name is Michael, but I call him Mike. Yeah, I also called him as a kid. We used to have sleepovers and everything. Even if he was a guy, he's a really close part of, like, my family. We were really close friends. He's also an older brother to me. We're planning on going to college together after we graduate high school. Great, we're both gonna share a dorm. Yay! But seriously though, those calls just were up Patrick's ass. Like, they kept texting him every 5 seconds. They like kept saying, "Where's Raven? Where's Raven?" But they didn't know my real name or my last name, so yeah, they couldn't find me. But meanwhile, I moved. And Patrick was glad, and also he knows where I live. So, like, if he ever gets possessed by a gate of cultists again, I'm probably gonna be dead. Like, you guys probably not seeing me anymore. I probably might be sucked by a demon god. Many people have dealt with Zozo. He's like an actual 3 AM challenge demon. You usually counter them if you do a Ouija board in a graveyard. That's one of the rules. You don't do that. You went with J Station and went Z-O-Z-O really fast and clawed him on the back. Meanwhile, you had a 3 AM challenge where you're supposed to go to FaceTime. When you FaceTime Jesus at 3 AM. His scar was healed. And then after that, he did a dumbest date alive, but I'm still subscribed. He still makes some really good content. Although I wonder why he doesn't post anymore. It worries me. So I watch Sam McColby. They also have an encounter with him. Even Jester and Hype Mike. I think guava juice, probably, maybe, I'm not sure. Although I really like watching guava juice. I would buy their merch, but I don't have the confidence or motivation right now. I also watched Dobry Brothers. I really like them. They're pretty cool. They make some really good sods. Although Osiris Christina, they were the best married couple in the world. I actually looked up to them. I would literally go up to them, like my boyfriend Gabriel. I'm like, "Hey, we should get a child." He was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I grabbed out my pet cat and I did this joke like a line. It's like, "This is our son." My pet cat was named Lucifer, and he was like, "Actually, no, that sounds like too much work." And I slapped him in the face, but on the cheek because I loved him. Also, I kissed him afterward. I'm like, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing that." But then when I got to middle school, like 6th grade, I knew him for a while, but yeah, he was missing. I don't know where he went, but who just disappears and ditches everything. And then went to go see him, and I'm already with someone else. He's like, "Hey, long time no see." When really, counting out that was from 6th grade, I'm in freshman year now. It was actually this year. It would probably be like 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. 4 years since I've seen him. Actually, wait, no. That's actually 5, because we got back together in 5th grade. We both first broke up because he said, "Hey, we should probably get back together when we're older." And then when someone asked me, like, "How old are you now?" I'm like, "Hey, I was like 10. That's what I said. And then he literally looked at me, screamed at the top of his lungs, then ran, as if I was going to kill him. I was actually really confused. Everyone was confused. He's like, and someone was like, "Is he okay? Does he need a doctor? Does he need a doctor? Does he need a doctor?" Yeah, so You have a weird childhood. I'm never going back to Du Bois. Everyone in my school keeps saying like, hey, don't go back to Du Bois. Du Bois suck. And I do not blame them. How the hell can your life crash and no one understands your depression? And it goes worse each time, slower and slower, and then it starts getting quicker and quicker and quicker, and then your friend commits suicide because a cultist, he sacrificed himself just so he could save the others, but then they still go after you. I miss Cameron. I can't believe he died still. I am strange. I swear to God I am. Patrick, he still does his ghost videos. He also has a YouTube channel, but I do not know what it's called. He's tell me. We did a recording with him, but he still wouldn't tell me. I don't get it. Why would you record with another YouTuber? I did not put them what their YouTube channel is so they could put it in their bio just in case they want to record with you. I never get a turn, but I actually didn't mind. I never minded that. I'm not saying I just wanted to be in the video, it's just that we were trying to stop this, like, this Zozo guy, so that we could stop him so he just doesn't really do anything else. Because really, we were just trying to do the right thing, because we got out there, I don't want to die, I don't want to go what I went through. I was depressed for days after Cameron's death. I missed him. I also missed his nickname, Little Cam. Or that one time when someone pranked him by dyeing his hair green and pink, and then someone came out with the most hilarious name, and we're all saying Camo Ellen. We laughed for a while, but then Cameron started crying, and then we stopped because he was kind of shy. He's the shyest person we know, so we started to hug it out. He's the sweetest person in the entire world. He went through a lot in Du Bois. This is all a true story. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. Wish I could just straight up not, like, deal with my past a lot. Like, yeah, I'm always ignoring my past. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. If you like this video, please leave a like or comment if you like. Make sure to dab on those haters who dislike this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Hola. Wait, no, not hola. Sayonara. Sayonara. Bye.